wake me when you need me.
The last time that we saw Master Chief was at the end of Halo 3, the legendary end of Halo 3. And at that point, he was in cryosleep with Cortana, floating over a mysterious planet in essentially the wreckage of the Ford on a dawn. And so when Halo 4 starts, it is after the events of Halo 3, but it's about 5 years after he goes into cryosleep.
John! I'm here.
I think one of the amazing things about working on an IP like Halo and a universe like Halo is, not unlike the Star Trek universe, there's so many stories that we can tell. And so we've explored a whole set of stories through different games and other mediums. But there's still a lot of stories that we want to tell. And when we kind of think about the next 10 years for Halo, we think about what are those stories we want to tell, and then where is the right place to tell them. And in some cases it will be a game, in some places it may be a book, but there's plenty of stories left to explore. We really look at Halo 4 as sort of a seed and a foundation for kind of a decade of storytelling, and so we kind of think of it as the start of a saga, because there may be different ways we want to tell some of that story. Certainly in a set of games, and we have an arc that's already defined that goes well beyond Halo 4. And that arc will change naturally and organically, but we definitely have stakes we're already putting in the ground for where we want the universe to go. Master Chief is clearly an iconic hero already, so our intention with where we take Master Chief isn't to change who it is, or who he is, but there's definitely facets of his character which we understand through other fiction that we feel would really deepen the game experience itself. So he will still be very stoic, he will not talk a lot, nor will he cry. But there is a piece of his humanity that we do want to come through and really express that with the decisions that we have the player make as they embody Chief and the things that he needs to face. And so for us, dimensionalizing him isn't changing him, because frankly he's really well fleshed out in other areas of the universe. It's really just bringing more of that to the game experience. Part of our storytelling goal with Halo 4 is to also serve as a bridge with campaign and multiplayer, and that's less about having, a very direct, continuous story, and more about having a narrative that can extend, and making sure that everything you're doing in the game, whether it's in multiplayer or campaign, is sort of contextualized in that world, so that the things you do in multiplayer feel like they have a meaning and they have a place in the universe, because they are part of a larger narrative. The first-person experience, there's so many different ways for a player to experience different moments. And even within the context of what's been done in Halo before, and that first-person perspective, there's a lot we can do with what the player sees and what the player hears, and sort of that sensory experience that we really want to amplify. And really, again, getting to a deeper sense of immersion into not just the story that's happening, but also the world that you're in. Halo is known for its multiplayer. Innovation in multiplayer is also a legacy of the franchise, so that's something we absolutely want to continue. And I think we look at innovation at all different levels of the multiplayer experience, within the, sort of some of the moment-to-moment gameplay, within, like in between gameplay loops, and then really at a sort of higher conceptual level. So those are all areas we're sort of attacking, and we're definitely excited to be talking more about that soon. Part of 343 taking on Halo was bringing in talent from all over the industry and all over the world to work on it. And so every one of those people and craftsmen has their own unique perspective. And that's something we want to be able to bring to the Halo experience. So, Kenneth Scott, our art director, extraordinary artist, had a really specific vision, and he wanted a very filmic, cinematic look. And I think both for art and for audio, we wanted to be able to deliver story pacing as well, and sort of an emotional arc through the visuals and through the audio. So I think you'll very much hear Tajin's, who's our audio director, you'll hear his vision coming through as well in the audio very quickly. And so yeah, all those pieces really come together and still feel so distinctly Halo, but also have really a unique look and feel to them.
All I need to know is, did we lose them?
We released Anniversary last year. It was a different part of 343 who was focused on Anniversary, because we were definitely, at that time, as well, heads down on Halo 4. And it is built on some different technology, but we definitely learned a lot from that experience. I mean, part of it was sort of a validation of some of the things we felt about Halo 1, and also about Master Chief. I think for a lot of us, and I include myself, Halo 1 was my favorite Halo experience. I just have such distinct memories of how it felt the first time I went into Halo, and I think a lot of us sort of harken back to that feeling as something we want to be able to capture for Halo 4, not just for new players coming in, but for players who have played all of the Halos. And so being able to re-release that and seeing people react to it again sort of validated that those were important things. We just were able to share a little bit today and show some of the game, which has been incredibly gratifying because people have been working so hard, and so to finally be able to show some of it feels great. That pace is going to accelerate so quickly. We are shipping this holiday 12, so things are fast and furious back at 343, but we'll definitely be releasing a lot more information really soon.